Segment's being sponsored by the Tennessee Wildlife Resources Agency. Join us in preserving and protecting Tennessee's wildlife. All right, welcome back everybody. We're going to open our phone lines up for you now so you can give us a call with your own questions or comments at 615-737-7767. While we're waiting on those calls to come in, Tim, tell us a little bit about Scotts Hill Baptist Church and kind of how all this got started with us and kind of where we're going here with this.
Well, I've been the pastor there since 2004 is actually when I started, for quite a while. And the ministry that me and my family started is called From the Blind Outdoors, and it just kind of started with a burden and a passion for families, for reaching men and to get their families and just to share the love of the outdoors and the love of the Lord together. I kind of pitched the idea to Hugh one day, and he loved the idea. We got to talking about it, and it just kind of built from there about the idea, the thought of what we could do. Yeah. And over time, the Lord opened up the door, and here we are.
He was going to be the guest on our radio show.
Right. That's how I initially met Tim. Was
some of the nicest people you'll meet
was on that night.
Yeah. And then after that, of course, he passed away, and then we left the funeral home that night. Me, you, and Tim, and Janet. We did the memorial show.
And Tim and I, we've stayed in touch since then. We've talked quite a bit back and forth, and this is just exciting. I mean, we've been excited about this, and he sent me a couple of clips. We've already got a couple of these things ready to go. The first one will start on the 5th of December. It's when it's going to run. And they're going to be about a minute and a half, and it's just going to kind of relate the Bible to the outdoors and the things that we see in the outdoors, whether it's preparing something or whether it's something while we're in the field or being ready. And it's just a lot of things, and the way that he puts it, it's very easy for you to be on that level and understand what it is. And I've showed you a couple of them.
Yes, and I tell you, I'm very impressed by it.
It's going to be just a really, really good deal, and we're excited about it. I tell you, you hit on something a while ago, and I was just fixing to bring it up. You were talking about how you had originally spoke with Hugh. Well, tonight, on November the 18th in 1999, was the first Southern Woods and Waters show here at Channel 5 Plus. And of course, that was started by Hugh McNaughton.
Yeah.
And tonight is the 20 years that Southern Woods and Waters has been on air here. So a really, really neat night for us. We've kind of talked about this all day, and it's amazing to think that 20 years.
It's a long time.
It's a long time. That's a lot of shows, and a lot has happened over those 20 years, and we can't thank Hugh enough, for all the time he put into it, and coming into everybody's living rooms for so long. And then just, of course, for me personally, just the way he took me under his wing and showed me, hey, this is what you need to do, go and do it. But
and Hugh was excited about it, because I remember him telling about the 20-year anniversary coming up. So.
Yep.
He said that so many times, Brandon. Yep. We had Chase Milhall and Chandler Pruitt on there, and I mean, he told him, he said, guys, I won't be doing this much longer. He said, 20 years November, and I want to get that 20 years in. I mean, he was adamant about it, too.
He was.
And through us, he got it in.
He did.
Me and Hugh have been together a long time.
Yes.
And we've done a lot of things together. And he's such a good man. And things change over years, and everything happens, and people he's on. But he's left his mark, and he was like a father figure to me. We've been together for so many years. Yeah. And he was such a great man, and he cared about the outdoors. And every person he spoke to, it wasn't like he just went up there to talk. And he enjoyed that just a few minutes with everyone.
And Dayton, over the 20 years now, speaking about that, and we have Miss Flowers here tonight. We've got a lot of people here that's been here throughout this whole deal. But buddy, you've been here 20 years, pretty much, haven't you?
A little longer. And, I mean, I've been with you a long time, man. I mean, me and him and Doug, and it takes a lot to do something. For 20 years, you don't just do it because you don't love it. You do it because you do love it.
That's right.
But what I've learned over all this is the camaraderie like we do now. Yeah. And like y'all do at deer camp, and when we go fishing, and the sun comes up in the morning, and the sun goes down in the evenings, man, nobody gets it anymore like it used to be. It's full grown to where it's full. I mean, it's all in your heart, and then you get with so many other people that enjoy the same thing. It just grows.
You build a family.
You build a whole.
You
It's
build a family.
unbelievable,
That's
man.
right.
It's just unbelievable.
And then you get, you know, and we mention the kids all the time. It's about the kids. You know,
Absolutely.
Tim hunting with his son earlier.
Yeah.
Anthony hunting with CJ. You got little Deacon and Archie out at these tournaments all the time. Guys, these kids at these tournaments, you know, you just can't. The smiles on their faces and the excitement, and you know, it takes somebody got him there or her there that morning.
Yeah.
You know,
Now,
and it takes that kind of dedication.
And then you have people, you have kids that don't have a parent like Deacon
That's
and
right.
them's fortunate enough that somebody like y'all that takes them.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of outstanding people in that whole environment.
Yeah.
You've got a man that might not have any kids or never had kids that's dying
Yeah.
to take any team to do that. So,
But
I mean, it's a big window there.
That's what
And
it
Jake
takes.
Davis
Jake
can
Davis-
handle it, and he's the man.
Hey, he is.
I've known
and
him a long time, and I'm
Jake's-
telling you, he's a super guy,
Jake's
man.
going to be here on the 12th of December. Jake is going to be here, and we're going to be running the footage from that Chicamauga tournament this past weekend. And really looking forward to having Jake on the show
Did
again.
you know how many boats they had?
And I didn't hear a final number.
264.
Yeah.
I was going to say, I knew it was over
I
250
knew it was over
last
200.
time.
Holy,
Yeah.
can you believe that?
So, but man, it's just such a growing deal. And Jake
Yes.
has done such a good, not only Jake, I mean, there's been
Yeah,
lots of
there's-
people
yeah,
involved. But,
sure.
Jake's just done a wonderful job with him. We're really looking forward to having him on and talking about that. And something else too, on my way here tonight, I was talking to Jake, and this past year, you know, Jake donated a fishing trip, a smallmouth trip for our Christmas giveaway. So I asked him, you know, I said, Jake, you want to do that again this year? He said, I tell you what I'm going to do this year. He said, I'm going to give away 2.
I wonder if he can
So,
catch a fish like that.
So just so y'all know, Jake Davis is actually going to be donating 2 fishing trips to this year's Christmas giveaway. One of them will be a smallmouth trip, and that's going to be on probably Woods Reservoir. And he said another one is going to be anything you want to catch trip on whatever lake you want to go. So I'm telling you guys, there's not many you could ask better to put you on the water than Jake. And for him to donate those trips to us is a big deal, so we really appreciate that. We got a caller here on one. Pete, how are you doing tonight?
I'm hanging on, buddy, y'all.
Doing great. Thank you for calling.
I've got kind of a fishing question.
Sure.
I've got some high-dollar bass rods and stuff. It's got the cork coming off the handles.
Okay.
Have y'all ever used any of the shrink wrap stuff on them as far as trying to fix a cork handle or something?
Yeah, you can get the tape part that goes around the cork. It's like a fabric, it's kind of a little tough like duct tape. It ain't quite that tough, but it's soft, and you can do more than just your cork reels. It's a great product, actually. You get a little more grip on your rod, and that's just from wear and tear on the corks. They only last so long. You can't get Tennessee handles much no more.
Right.
Everything's gone to rubber and glass and all that. Those are some rods you want to try to take care of like you're doing, you know. Try to keep them from wasting any more and take care of the tips on them, really.
And you talking about kind of like the wind grip stuff?
Yeah, just the regular old tape you can get in the pack. It'll say on there like cork tape and stuff. It's just to keep it from rotting anymore. That way it'll last
All right.
longer and you still have it.
What about the bite feel, like finesse rods and stuff? What about how's the bite feel on it?
Man, it's going to change it a little bit because it's not going to be direct. But
Right.
as long as you're going to, you know, just depends on what you're using, how you're going to go about it. I mean, you're still going to feel a good peck. But I mean, if it's a light super peck, like a light crappie peck, you might not feel it. But if it's a thump, like a good crappie thump, or you're fishing a hair fly for a bass, you'll feel it. There's no doubt about that.
Okay, I know, kind of like some of the plastic stuff, you know, where you get the little thump stuff on it when it
You'll-
bites. And,
you'll still
and
feel
it'll
that. That's the
change the
sensitive-
feel on it with it being kind of like a thicker material.
You'll still feel it through your rod tip, pretty much. I mean, you're still going to get that little thump and peck.
Okay. Well, I figured I'd ask somebody that might know. I ain't never had any dealings with it. Well, thank y'all for your input.
Thank you
Absolutely.
for calling.
Thank you
Have a
for
great
calling.
night.
All right, sir. Y'all too.
You can't beat them cork handles.
No,
man,
they're
we
good old
can't find them no more.
rods. No.
Oh my goodness.
Take care of the
Crappie
ones I
rods,
got.
all of them got
Oh,
corks.
Tennessee handles, they quit making them.
Yeah.
Guys, we're going to go over and do this week's tip of the week. Speaking of rods, this week's tip of the week is being sponsored by our friends over at Phoenix Custom Quality Rods. You can check them out at phoenixrods.com, or you can call them at 562-924-5400, or right here in the Tennessee area, you can contact Mr. Jim Brewer. You can find Jim on Facebook as well, and Jim can get you hooked up with Phoenix, and I tell you, they are a wonderful rod. We've enjoyed them ever since we've started using them. Get your hands on one today, and you will not be disappointed.
They're good poles. I like them.
Dayton, it's time to get ready for a little duck hunt.
Well,
What
listen,
you got over there
whether
tonight?
you're duck hunting, fishing, man, y'all out there in the waders, y'all get out there with your guns. We're out there in them winter clothes. It's so thick, if you fall out, you can't get in. Man, check your life jackets. Check your kill switches. Check your throw cushions. Make sure you got paddles, especially you duck hunters, man. Y'all get out there and get excited, and I know how it is, but man, you slip out in the water in them waders.
That's right.
That stuff fills up the water quick on you guys.
And if it can happen, it will happen.
And it will.
And
I mean, you know,
hypothermia will set in
I mean,
quicker
it's
than you think.
absolutely. Maybe you might think it's 65 degrees outside, but that water's still 50.
Right. That's
right.
I mean, it don't take but a few minutes to drop your water temperature. That's why, you know, I'll carry a few clothes and the extra clothes
That's
in the
right.
boat. And I have seen to where you be going down the lake and somebody gets thrown out of the boat. Well, there's 4 boats that stop, and everybody starts taking their clothes off. It's dry,
Yep.
and you get that man's wet clothes off and put your warm, dry clothes
That's
on
right.
him.
That's right.
I mean, but it's all about safety, kill switches, life jackets, throw cushions, paddles.
Yeah.
Be prepared. It's winter time. It's not the summer. You're not going to be able to swim to the
That's
bank, you
right.
think. You're going to sink like a rock.
That's
It's just a good idea.
Thank you, Dayton. Guys, we're going to go on over and take another break. When we come back, we're going to have this week's recipe of the week for you.